So now we're going to get into heavy duty radical stuff. All right, and some of the stuff's kind of easy and some of the stuff is a little bit more difficult. So the first stuff we're going to talk about is adding or multiplying and dividing radicals. And there's two rules to radicals. All right, the first rule is you can't have a perfect square under the radical. So can not have perfect square under the radical. Okay, so what does that look like? Well, let's say we had a problem that was like the square root of 50, and we were done with the problem, or at least we thought we were done. Well, you have to look at your magical numbers. The 4, the 9, the 16, the 25, the 36, the 49, the 64, the 81, the 100, the 121, the 144, and say, okay, do any of these numbers divide into 50? Because if they do, then you have to reduce it. Okay, so I have the square root of 50. I know 25 goes into 50 evenly 2 times. I always write the blue number here first, and if you need to turn it to blue, you can. And then the square root of 25 is 5, so it becomes 5 radical 2, and then that's my answer. That's rule number 1. Rule number 2 is you cannot have a radical in the denominator. Okay? So you can't end a problem with a radical in the denominator. So if I had a problem that was like 4 over radical 2, you can't have this radical down here. So how you get rid of that is you multiply both the top and bottom by whatever radical is on the bottom. So multiply by radical 2 over radical 2. So this becomes 4 radical 2 over radical 4. We all know that the square root of 4 is 2, so that becomes 4 radical 2 over 2. And then the 4 and the 2, hey, they reduce. So we can divide them both by 2, so that becomes 2 radical 2. If you want to put it over 1, you can, but you don't have to. These are the 2 rules to radicals. I'm going to do some examples that will help you out with some different problems on homework.